twice or for the 100th time what you've or how much you've taken from us. I think you know that. But I hope you go to God with all the guilt, the bad things you may have done in the past. Each and every one of us may have done something that we're not supposed to do. If you truly are sorry, I know I can speak for myself. I forgive you, and I know if you go to God and ask Him, He will forgive you. And I don't think anyone could say it. Again, I'm speaking for myself, not even behalf of my family. But I love you just like anyone else. And I'm not gonna say I hope you rot and die just like my brother did, but I personally want the best for you. And I wasn't gonna ever say this in front of my family or anyone, but I don't even want you to go to jail. I want the best for you. Because I know that's exactly what both of them would want you to do. And the best would be give your life to Christ. I'm not gonna say anything else. I think giving your life to Christ would be the best thing that both of them would want you to do. Again, I love you as a person. And I don't wish anything bad on you. I don't know if this is possible, but can I give her a hug, please? Please? Yes.
Hey y'all, what's going on? This is Brian, and this is the No News, Just Facts podcast. This is episode 21. I titled this episode, Be Aware of Your Surroundings, because, honestly, it's really not safe to be anywhere, honestly, if you think about it. But I'm going to just start the show off right and introduce my guest, one of my regulars, of course.
Yeah,
the homegirl, Tiffany.
Homegirl Tiff. I'm here. It's always good to be here. I always, I love, being here. I love, enjoying this time with you, being able to share my thoughts, my views, my feelings. Yeah, I appreciate it every time, though. You already know what it is, May.
I'm humbled. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the verdict? Do you want to start with him, his brother? Well, we're, of course, talking about the Botham Jean case, if you didn't know.
Yeah. You know what? I think let's start from the brother. That was an excerpt, or that was literally the whole clip that was shown to, the world, the brother saying how he felt and addressing Amber. I'm not going to lie. Watching that, everybody's calling it an act of forgiveness. And it's like it brings tears to my eyes because watching it, man, that it spoke volumes. Most people are, and I felt this way too previously. I was like, man, ain't no way I'm about to hug somebody that killed my people. Ain't no way I'm about to forget. Like, I'm pulling up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna tell her I want a hug, but I really want to smack her. Everybody, I had the same, but watching it, it just really does something to you. And I mean, I'm pretty much an open book. I'm a black woman, yes, unapologetically so. I'm pro-black, I always want the best for my people. I'm a freedom fighter. I believe in, equality, justice, and freedom for all. I believe in that. Also, I'm a Christian too, I'm an open book when it comes to who I am, and I don't hide, I don't cut corners, you know what I'm saying? But I think because I am, a Christian, I understand. That's what Christianity is all about. Exactly. It's about forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not going to go as far as saying I would have sat there and gave her a hug and, but I do understand forgiving somebody, period. Because you don't want to hold on to something and it eats away at you, and what has been done is done, and there's nothing we could do to undo what has been done. You know what I'm saying? So it's best to forgive. So watching it, it showed the restraint, and man, it showed what Christianity is all about, man. And that came, what people are missing, there's something so profound that came from a young black man. Something most probably would have never expected. He just showed y'all a prime example of what true Christianity is about. It's not about condemning all gays. There's an agenda that's being pushed, that's being linked with Christian. Like, it's not about judging. You're going to hell. No, that's what Christianity is about. It's about showing the likeness of Christ. Man, I forgive you. You took him away. You know that. He said it. I'm not here to tell you what you already know. But what I'm here to tell you is I forgive you. I love you. And so I can understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, as for me, I don't know if I'm going to go as far as getting you a hug, sis. Well, God I don't think he done working with me completely yet like that. But to forgive and move on, great. Nah, he ain't never going to forget. There's no way he can ever forget that. But I think it was the right thing to do, to forgive and go forward, man. And like I said, the most profound part about this all was that it came from a young black man. Nobody would have ever expected that. We get such a bad rap. And, people, like I said, people will always link in Christianity, with, fire and brimstone and judging. Man, he showed y'all. He shut it all down. He showed y'all what it's really about. That, I can really appreciate that. And I think that was a very profound moment that it'll never be forgotten. And I feel like Botham, his legacy, his life, it's not in vain. He was a Christian too. So hearing his brother saying that's what he would have also wanted, I could see that he was a Christian. There was videos of him praying. And, you see other religions too, like the Sikh people that are sick or Sikh. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing, but they're also Sikh. Very peaceful too. They would have done the same thing. I see them always moving in a peaceful manner. So yeah, I mean, I think we should just respect people's religion, and that's that. So I respect it. That's what he felt needed to be done. He did that. But there's now outside of that, we know there's some other issues, which I'm sure me and you both are about to get into it. But as for what the brother did, I respect it.
You pretty much took every word out of my mouth. My only things are this. Black people in particular, have to remember, Black Americans thus far have to remember that, they're not from here. They're not
that's
from
another
here.
thing. They're from St. Lucia.
They don't understand all of this racism and corruption stuff. They don't understand this. That's number one.
Well, I think they understand it, but it may not be to the level that we.
It's not common in St. Lucia.
In St. Lucia, you're right. Because that's a predominantly Black island.
It's not common to them to see this sort of racism, or even see that many white people. Honestly,
Right.
So, I mean, that's on one hand. And then on another hand, I feel like everything that he was saying was not of his own. I feel like when he got up there, he didn't know what he was going to say. I feel like a spirit.
Brother?
I feel like a spirit got up there and said,
And
you
spoke
know
through
what?
him.
I'm going to handle this.
That's how I
You just
feel
sit
too.
there. Because in the video, you see how he was taking those little pauses every single like second to speak. That's how you know it was Botham or an angel. So, I was just like everybody else as well, saying like,
Man.
why would, you know what I'm saying, the whole forgiveness thing. No, I was more like this. I was more like, bro, why did you do it in public? Like, if I was him, I would have like at least waited until she was in jail or something like that.
To then address it?
Then I would have.
But
like,
I think the way it happened was the way it should.
I'm not saying like address it like publicly. I'm saying go to her when she's in jail and then be like, okay, you know what? I forgive you.
Right.
I forgive you. I've sat with it long enough. I can't let it tear me down and eat at me forever. So.
Like you felt like that part could have came
Yeah,
later.
he didn't need to do it on camera like that. I feel like
but I think, like you said, if the spirit takes over, and that's what could you do then?
Yeah.
And you know, if you're a Christian or if you know anything about the way, I mean, if God takes over, everything is in spirit. So
yeah. Well,
but I think it happened the way it happened for a reason. It was very profound. Mm-hmm. You got to see what true Christianity is actually about. Yeah. And you got to see it from a young black man who lost his brother to gun violence, you know, from a white police officer. And we know justice, you know the way justice is working right now, or has always worked for black people in America or other marginalized, you know, peoples in America. Man, it's crazy. This whole situation is crazy. And, you know, outside of that part, I gotta be real. Giving this girl 10 years? I mean, cause the verdict, yeah, she got found guilty.
It's like
10 years.
It's like,
and in Texas, you only have to do half. 10 years, but she only gonna really have to do 5, if that. I'm talking outside the realms of religion. I'm just talking straight on law. I'm coming straight from the way the system works here.
I read up on this.
10 years.
It's a thing of
for murder.
It's a thing of like this. The way like Amber and her attorneys and everything like that went about this case. They came at it from like an angle of like remorse. That's all they did. They really came at it from like, you remember how like that, what was his name? Terence Crowder, the guy the black guy who was like literally like putting his hands up and everything and complying with the police officer, the woman who shot him and everything like that. They came at it from that angle. That woman was able to, did she even get convicted? I can't even remember. But she was
there was so many black men that got killed like that. I don't even...
Listen, she was able to get another job and everything like that. I spoke about this with somebody, and I told them, I'm like, you know, she's only going to do like 5 years, or she's going to get out on like, she's going to do like 3 years and get out on good behavior or something like that, and then be able to go get a job at some other police station. And the person was telling me, oh, yeah, no, she's not. No police department is going to want to have a woman who has a murder on her name or something like that. I'm like, are you serious? She's white. She's able to get a job anywhere.
There's a little bit of privilege connected to it. Yeah.
Any town, any state where she wants to go. Are you serious? All police stations don't care about that. Even if it's not a police officer, she could be a correctional officer. She could do anything that has to do with like being an officer if she wanted.
Man.
That doesn't her having a murder. I'm sure there are a bunch of officers who have murders on their name, and they still can walk around and get a job.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. The way that things work in America, what justice, the way the system is, and that's why I said I'm not talking in the realms of religion or Christianity anymore. I believe I'm talking straight from the view of the way the system works.
You know,
the sentencing is always lighter, you know, or favorable.
I think it's more favorable on white women than it is
Yeah.
on men, honestly.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm not...
And I hate to be like that, but I gotta keep it real. What would this show be if we wasn't keeping it real?
Honestly, like, whenever I, like, look at, like, something like these cases, I try my best not to go with the race first, but it's like...
You
it's
try
impossible.
not to, but
it's
you
impossible.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
And it's inevitable, man. And it's become more evident every day.
Oh, yeah.
And if we don't talk about it, and if we don't bring awareness, if we don't continue...
We're blinded.
Then imagine how much more worse it can get by the time I have kids. By the time my kids have kids. You know, I feel like the strides and improvement that we've had so far, it's only because we have talked about it.
Yeah.
And we have... Imagine if we didn't do nothing. It would be way worse.
Oh, yeah.
Far more worse than what it is.
That means that we like to see our
So
people killed.
Yeah, we gotta keep
our
trying.
mouths shut.
And I mean, it may not eliminate it 100%, but God damn it, it's doing something. And we gotta, I mean, clearly it hasn't, you know, see what happened to Botham and other things like that, but we gotta keep going. Because imagine if we didn't talk about it at all. Think about how many more Bothams. I mean, it could be tripled and quadrupled. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, we got to keep talking about it. We got to keep bringing awareness, man. We got to keep being real, because these are the kind of things that will just fester and grow and grow. And yeah, we have come a long way in America. I am blessed to be in the position that I am in. I don't hate this country, man. This is all I know. This is where I was born. This is where I was raised. This is where I'm going to create my livelihood. This, you know, this is not a bad country. There's very many pros about this country, especially when you bring it in comparison to other countries. But those cons are pretty damn big. And me being a black woman, a lot of those cons are smack dab right in my face. Like, damn, you know, a lot of these things go against me. It goes against other minorities and marginalized peoples. You know what I'm saying? So there are some things that just have to be. It has to be improved. And if we want the next generations to have more chance, that hey, we got to do better. Something has got to happen. You know, MLK had a dream. He died for that dream. Imagine if he didn't.
No. Any person who's ever fought for the truth has always died.
Most of them, anyway.
Most of them have died. Trying to let us know what the real is.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like
like they had to be a sacrifice for us to get a little bit more further into the right place.
I feel like, honestly, this is the truth. I feel like there's gonna be more and more and more and more. Like, getting up that hill is going to take forever.
Yeah, because and every time somebody comes out to speak the truth and they pop them off, it puts fear in others. So they're like, man, and because I'm scared, I'm not going to do anything. But there always has to be a sacrifice. And, you know, there's that, man. But it's crazy. And then another thing that happened was Joshua, one of the...
witnesses.
One of the witnesses, man, he ends up dead. Like, shortly after he testifies, in which Lee Merritt said that, you know, he was always kind of worried about becoming like a victim of gun violence himself. And so that was one of the reasons why he wasn't wanting to take the stand. And they said that he had a lot of bravery. He took the stand when a lot of people was afraid to. And look what happens to the young man. I mean, now we don't know if it was in direct connection to that, but damn, it's pretty eerie. It's pretty goddamn ironic and coincidental. You know, these are the things that worry me. You know.
Then his mom said he ain't have no known enemies. So yeah.
Yeah, his mom said there was no known enemies. This was a young black handsome man, fine. Man, he went to school.
Dude had a kid too.
He had a kid. I didn't even know that.
He had a kid. He
went to school. I mean, this is what she said. You know, they don't count us they don't look at us this way. They think that we're all bad. And no, he went to school. He tried to do the right thing. He was working like a very good contract job. He said that he was doing like construction, but stopped that and ended up managing Airbnbs and was trying to acquire another one. This man is like an entrepreneur. He's making a way for himself. He graduated high school. He went to college. He became a businessman. He's living the American dream. And then he's also succumbed to gun violence.
That's what all of it.
After he takes the stand to testify.
We all come full circle on this. Like, when I come full circle on this, all this is telling me is that, hey, you can have a job. Hey, you could be successful. You could do
the quote-unquote right thing.
And you could still
be murked. You could still be taken out.
You could still get shot.
And the crazy thing is, they don't really know who did. They don't know who did it yet.
Of course, they don't know who did it.
I hope that they find out who does. If they don't find out who did it, then I'm gonna make it my own. Like, I'm gonna take this thing and I'm gonna follow it, and I'm gonna do everything that I can to dedicate my time to trying to see whatever it is I could do to help. Like, we gotta bring some awareness to this. Like, there's no way this young man should die in vain like that. Like, they've gotta find the murderer. You have to, because it's gonna be too many questions, too many raised eyebrows. We gotta know. I mean, what happened?
I'm just gonna play devil's advocate here and tell you that they're not gonna find a killer. When things get set up and the laws are involved, or are we talking about government or something like that, ain't no killer gonna be found, because whoever the person was that shot him is probably gonna get killed too.
And this is the reason why, like, I question myself a lot. Like, dude, maybe should I change my field of work? Because I'm tired. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of seeing so many people being lost to gun violence, especially so many young black men. And there's no answers for it. And there's no true justice being served. Like, I'm tired. I don't know about you, but I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like, I have now, more than ever now, a passion to try to we gotta find a way. We gotta make things better. There's gotta be something more to do to make things better, man. Like, I don't know how small we'll have to start. I don't care. Like Pac said, I might not be the one to change the world, but I guarantee you I'll be the one that sparks the brain that does. Like, I might not be able to change a whole lot, but God damn it, if I'm able to spark the brain that does, then I'm okay with that. But from this day forward, I feel like it's my duty to dedicate a lot of my time to trying to help bring a solution. Something. Because this is far out of hand. There's so many people that I know that have been affected by this. My guy, Jabba, his brother literally came from Africa to make it in America, got into a fight, and then the next day was shot down and killed. One of my close friends just lost her brother to gun violence. And, in a lot of these situations, true justice is not being served. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's right. What can we do? And sometimes that question seems so empty. Because a lot of people are going to say, there's nothing you can do. It's always going to happen. Yeah, maybe it'll always be around, but what can we do to at least reduce it, or, bring enough people into to the table to say, okay, yeah, something's got to be done.
Honestly,
and it's been happening since before we even got here.
Honestly, it's all on the government. Number one, number two, the United States needs to borrow laws from Australia and UK
and Germany,
Canada.
man.
Honestly,
I'm hearing Germany doesn't have that much.
Like, their gun law, those overseas, their gun laws, they don't tolerate that stupid.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Like, I'm hearing in Germany, man, there's not much violence at all. Especially gun violence. Like, what is that? They're not. It's not something.
The most
that's common.
Have is knife violence.
Yeah.
All those
It's
places
that,
over there,
yeah.
knife violence. It's
So,
straight up
yeah,
gun
we got to
violence.
do something, man. There's a lot of other countries that are far more.
But see, America will never crouch down to borrow those laws.
Yeah, because we're so bold and arrogant. That's why I said there's a lot of pros about this country, and I'm grateful because I know in comparison to some other countries, it's like, damn, we blessed. But there's a whole bunch of cons, man. And there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. It's right there. And it hurts. It's hurting me. And it actually brings me to tears when I was watching Joshua's testimony on the stand. When he got emotional and people was like, oh, he's in there with a Dragon Ball Z shirt. Man, you got to realize he didn't even want to come. And if you didn't realize that, him coming there the way that he came there should have showed you. He didn't even want to be there. But he did what he felt was necessary to bring out the best verdicts. You know what I mean? I feel like he sacrificed himself. And he was up there crying, and it was like, I'm watching him and I'm crying like, man, if you couldn't feel the emotion in that, then maybe you're not alive, you know? Maybe you're not human. But watching him and then learning about his death, you know, shortly after, it was something that shook me, you know? I can't really deal. I can't watch that again. Like, it sends me into a place that's so dark and like sad, you know, and dreary. You know, like stuff like that is a reason why I stopped paying attention to cases like these, and you know, the Mike Browns, the Trayvon Martins, I was finding myself getting so wrapped into it. I started processing things in a way that probably wasn't healthy for me. And watching him on trial, like, kind of brought me, you know, kind of back into that place. And I was like, this is not. So I stepped away from it for a while, from my own sanity. Because when you begin to see stuff like this happen a lot, it starts to affect you, because it could be you, you know. It could be my guy. It could be my dad. It could be my brothers. It could be my nephews. And goddamn, lastly, it could be my sons, you know? It could be my sons. And I don't want that. I don't want that, you know? But it hits close to home, and it's like, well, damn, maybe next time it is going to be right here in my home.
Well, I mean, you just gotta honestly stay prayed up. I've said this before. If you can
we can stay prayed up, but is that enough?
No, it is not enough.
And that's the question that a lot of Black Americans are asking.
That's why I'm saying, keep a gun.
Yeah, but it comes back to, you know, and like I said, yeah, I'm a Black woman, I'm a Christian. And so sometimes people are like, that's an oxymoron. No, it's not. It's not. I know what's...
Who said it's oxymoron to be Black and be Christian?
Or pro-Black and Christian. Because people feel like Christianity goes against you being pro-Black, because being a Christian, it's like, you know, it was the religion that was pushed upon our peoples by white, you know, and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, there are things to that, but I mean, that's...
Yeah, that's how I feel too. But
it all points.
You got to know what it is and what it ain't. And what I do know is
it all points to one. Every religion points to one Messiah anyway. So it's like it doesn't matter. For me, that's what I think. I'm like, it all comes back to one thing. But still, at the same time,
God gives you sense. You know, my mom and my grandma always said, look, God gives you some 5 senses too. God helps those who also helps themselves. So I'm going to pray, but what type of action am I going to put behind that prayer is where I'm getting stay prayed up. And what? Faith without works is dead. They teach you that in church too, you know? Mm-hmm. And I'm not trying to radicalize Christianity. I'm not trying to pervert it to fit my own agenda. No, I'm just saying what it is.
I don't really know what you can do, honestly.
And that's why we have to go to the table and like figure something out. I mean, it's
only
hard.
it's only so much you can do.
That you can do. Yeah.
The resources are minimal.
Exactly.
It's very minimal when it comes to things of those natures.
And there are some like organizations like Stop the Violence campaigns, and there's a whole bunch of like nonprofit organizations and stuff that dedicate their time to trying to cut these things down, and I commend those. So like if we could like join forces with those and maybe create more, like that would be a great thing. But at the end of the day, we're just gonna have to come down to the table and we're gonna have to brainstorm and figure some things out.
It's very difficult.
It is. It's super difficult. And literally, I mean, it's something that's just so, like, broad. It's like, man, what do? You begin to feel lost, but no.
Especially with this country being that this is a country that glorifies guns.
Having your guns, yeah, the right to bear your arms, of course.
Glorifies the Navy. They glorify a lot of combat.
We love our guns in America.
A lot of combat. A lot of combat. So it's hard to say like, yeah, I want the violence to stop, but at the same time,
we gotta find,
like.
But look at how it plagues our community so badly.
Listen, our community has been plagued.
There's so many injustices.
For centuries.
And then I know this is like a whole complete different thing, but damn, let's talk about how the mass shootings happen too. This thing, it goes across the board too now. I mean,
yeah, I know.
If we're going to be talking about like gun, it goes across the board too. How many more of these children do we have to lose? Like these innocent children at schools, people at Walmart, people at the movies, people at, we want to bear our arms, and people saying, yeah, well, you need to bear your arms because when those shooters come, you need to have your gun to shoot them. And how many times have you seen it to where that happened? It never happens. It never happens. I mean, you gonna go shooting up a school and expect the kids to pull out a gun or the no.
But see, I feel like with those are like put there in play. Like when the Las Vegas shootings happened, like you can't tell me that it wasn't put in place so there could be like something implemented with casinos. Like think about that for a second. The guy was able to get all the way to the top of that building and be able to like just shoot people sniper style from like that building. Come on now. You don't think they're trying to like implement some type of security thing where they can like scan, they could like make people like go through like metal detectors and things of that nature? Yeah. Come on. Sometimes these mass shootings are like put there to implement something. So Walmart has had a bunch of mass shootings. Forget this shooting. There has been a couple of shootings at gigantic like big company stores like Walmart, like Target. Like the fact that Walmart went as far as like just only banning violent video games. Come on now. Come on, y'all need to just go ahead and ban. I used to work at Walmart, so I know this. In the sporting goods section, that is where you find all your ammo, you find all your guns. That's where you get your hunting licenses, all of that. If there was anything that needed to be banned, I don't know why they didn't just do this. If there was anything that needed to be banned, it was your bullets and your ammo and your guns. You need to just take guns all out of y'all stores. Yeah. If y'all supposed to be some big Christian organization, how y'all ban video games and put and make CDs clean before you ban guns and ammo?
Yeah, I hear you.
Like, come on now. What sense is that making? So as soon as Donald Trump says, "Oh yeah, video games are the reason," nah. Y'all got a whole agenda.
And it's like parents. These parents need to check into what their
Stop it,
man. But that's a whole nother topic, man. I didn't plan on getting there, but it just also was like a part of the whole, gun violence talk. If you're gonna talk about that shit, you got to mention these mass shootings too, man. It all, at the end of the day, it all kind of goes hand in hand, part of the bigger picture too. But
like I said, implementation. Those mass shootings are part of an agenda and a narrative.
Exactly.
That means what they're trying to get Walmart to implement something. They're trying to get these schools to implement something that's not there.
Yeah.
That should have already been there.
Exactly.
So it's like
talk your shit, B.
I'm just saying, like
talk your shit.
So
B.
it's like this. It's
talk
like
your real
all
shit,
these
B.
people, all these kids that are growing up in this generation, all they see is gun violence. All they see is shootings. And what do? It's almost kind of like there's nothing they can do because it's happening every single day. So what can I do? I can only continue to just live my life, and it's not like ignore it, but it's like I don't have no time to react to
it. Yeah,
every single gun violence thing that happens because it's happening every day.
But that's how you become
week
desensitized. Because you don't, it's so much you become desensitized.
Listen, when I was younger,
and that's how it just kind of goes by the wayside.
When I was younger, that school shooting that happened with the 2 white kids that went into their high school and shot everybody. What do you
about the Columbine?
Yeah, Columbine.
That was like
that happened when I was little, right? That happened when I was little.
Yeah,
I had time to sit there and reflect on what that was. I couldn't understand it at the time because I was a child.
We're kids, yeah.
I was a child. I couldn't understand 9/11 when it happened.
Right, man. We was so young when this shit was happening.
I couldn't understand none of that. But it's like compare those stories up until now. The shooting happened in April. I was able to reflect on that for a whole 3 or 4 months. Sure, there were little mini shootings that happened, but I didn't really hear about those. It was that main one that happened that I had time to digest into my mental and think about it.
Right.
However, nowadays, like I said, it's no room in your brain, it's no room in your atmosphere to get every single shooting that happens and digest it into your mind.
Right.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not at all.
That was what happened to me though. That's what was. I can't even get my words out. It's late, but that's what was happening to me with everything that was going on. So I had to pull back. I was trying to put everything in my head and make sense of it, and oh my God, how can I I had to pull back, but I had to step back. But it's happening again, and man,
yeah, it's unfortunate.
So unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. We were supposed to get into something lighter.
And it just kind of ended up staying over here.
I don't know.
But we can definitely transition into something lighter.
Let me try. Let me see what we can get into.
It's heavy, man. But for real though,
6 minutes.
Rest in peace to
yeah, definitely rest in peace
everybody that
to him.
I know that's been affected.
Anybody
by
surrounded in the case.
For real.
Let me see here. Okay, so we could talk about this just to get a little lighter. Okay, so Kevin Gates.
Hard.
Kevin Gates, right? Yeah. Kevin Gates, I believe he went to go see Murder. And Mac, I believe you know who they are. I think you're familiar with who they are.
I'm only from New Orleans, I mean.
But, okay, so he got banned from, they say, every jail in Louisiana for being able to go in and flash his money in a photo op.
The hell?
Listen. Then they said the warden and the guard who was allegedly supposed to search him never actually searched him. They just let him in. So
wow, because of who
he is,
yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really think there's anything wrong there. To be honest with you,
he's flashing his money, man. He's a rapper. I mean, kind of comes with the territory. Let him do what he wants.
I think that's actually on the bucket list, honestly.
He's not doing something freaking detrimental. Let this man do what he wants, man.
It's not like he was giving out all that money. Although I don't know, they never. I'm
pretty sure he put something on their books,
sure,
their commissary.
Yeah.
But he's not hurting nobody. It's not detrimental.
Top ramen going up.
Shit got them spreads popping.
Them cigarettes about to be stacked.
Everything.
That's like grand in there. So I mean, oh, you know what?
What?
Let's talk about Stacy Dash real quick.
Man, what did she do? Beat up her husband?
She beat up her husband.
One question: was her husband white?
No,
Because you know how she is. She's very like Republican and very always talking
That's
about.
That's a great question. He might be white.
That's a. Shit.
But I mean,
I don't even think about her anymore. She made a lot of remarks about the black community.
She's not even. She's not a part. She's not
of
black to me.
Vocabulary.
Anymore.
Who was Stacy Dash?
She ain't even
don't
black
know
to me.
her. I don't think.
I'm so shocked that she's even like still like related to Damon Dash.
I mean, still his sister.
That's so crazy. Like, but I mean, she like on her. I guess on her paperwork, she put that she was white.
I heard
she put that she was white,
and I think she's mixed. But yeah, like why did she put that she was?
And
that's why I don't fool with her. Now you know full well you look more black than anything. That's the black community knows you as like sis. Why are you trying to? That's why I don't fool with her. I don't fool with her.
And I think it's
floozy. Floozy.
To me, it speaks to a bigger issue that doesn't get like any light any time of day, which is like females abusing men.
Very true.
That gets no light. It doesn't. It's
still domestic violence.
Serious at all.
No matter how you see it, it's still domestic violence.
Because there are men out there. There are a lot of men out there that take. Okay, there are a lot of men that
go through this shit.
That go through this and stay quiet about it.
Yeah,
honestly, so I mean,
that's very true. You see it all the time. There's a gang of men. Like I see it a lot that. It's just not out. You know, it's rare that people talk about it. But there are a lot of men that are getting abused.
Shit, I could even take it as far as like rape. men getting raped by women is another thing that doesn't get any light. It's almost like a joke.
Because people feel like men are more like they're stronger and bigger and they should have more like...
I regret to inform y'all that there are pussy ass men out there.
Pussy ass bitches everywhere. But yeah.
So I mean, every man can't fend for this.
Exactly. I mean, and it's not even just that, but there's just situations to where some women are just
especially with like
assholes.
Especially with like the abuse thing. I mean, I'll be one of the men to tell you that. Listen, I won't put my hands on a woman, but if a woman's like trying to hit me, I will.
You slapped me before. Stop playing.
I will. Stop. You tripping? You tripping? Don't listen to her. She out her mind. She's out her mind.
Oh my
but
God.
like I said, I'll be the first one to tell you that. Like, if a woman's hitting me, like I will like restrain her, like move her away from me or something like that, because I'm not.
You'd rather do that than hit her, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not about to let her just continue to just sit there and hit me and everything like that. But I mean, just I guess what, we could wrap this. I feel like we've covered common ground. So I mean, hey, on a later date, I'm gonna do another podcast, maybe sometime soon. So
before we go though, I do want to just say this. My friend's brother passed this past week. Like I said, it was due to like some gun violence. And I just want to send to her and her family my heartfelt like sympathy and condolences. Like I'm actually gonna go be with them this weekend. Because of it. So I just want to say, long live Drake. He passed pretty young due to this, and it's something that hurts me deeply. I want to say long live Emmanuel K. Ade. And long live anybody else that, whose life was prematurely cut by like gun violence in the most unnecessary manner. You know what I mean? And in the same breath, also long live both Misham John and Joshua Brown too. So that's it for me. Thank you for having me. It's always great to be here to let people know how I feel, letting people know what's on my mind. Not that what I say is so great or super important, but the fact that you value me enough to, to hear what I gotta say, I really appreciate it. I thank you, brother May.
And on that note, I am going to bid you guys adieu.
I do. Till next time, baby.
Y'all be safe. Make
Good
the right
night.
decisions.
Be safe. Be aware of your surroundings. You heard?